Hello everyone, we have another lesson for grade 10 math, this is for the first quarter, module 1, geometric sequence. Okay, in this lesson, we have the following objectives. Find the sum of geometric sequence. Okay, and we're going to use this formula. And then we have the second objective, to find the sum to infinity. And we have this formula, and then we're going to recall on how to find the common ratio of geometric sequence. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, so let us first define what is geometric sequence. Okay, geometric sequence is a sequence where each term after the first is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a non-zero constant called the common ratio or R. Common ratio or R. We can determine the common ratio by dividing any term in the sequence by the term that precedes it. So, yung i-divide natin yung pumapangalawang term sa naunang term. Okay, we have an example of geometric sequence. Number 1, 2, 6, 18, 54. Okay, we're going to find or determine what is the common ratio of the sequence. To find R, let us divide any number in the sequence, which is, again, i-divide natin yung pumapangalawa sa nauna, kahit alin dyan sa term na yan. Okay, so let's try. 54 divided by 18 is 3. 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay, so kung titingnan natin, meron silang common na dinidivide, which is 3. So that is what we call the common ratio. Yun yung minumultiply natin doon sa bawat term ng sequence. Okay, let's try this one. 2 times 3 equals 6. Then 6 times 3 equals 18. And 18 times 3 equals 54. So now 3 is what we call the common ratio. Okay, so next, let's have number 2 example. 64, 32, 16, 8, 4. Okay, to find the common ratio or R, yung step na nasa number 1, yun lang din yung gagawin natin. I-divide natin yung pumapangalawa sa naunang term. Okay, so let's have 4 over 8. Or 4 divided by 8. So we cannot divide 4 divided by 8. So ang gagawin lang natin, since mas mataas ang denominator kaysa sa numerator. So isi-simplify lang natin siya or ilo-lowest term natin. I-divide natin siya both numerator and denominator by the common factor or the greatest common factor ng 4 at 8. So, the greatest common factor ng 4 at 8 ay 4. So, divided by 4 over 4. Now, 4 divided by 4 equals 1. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Okay, therefore, we have 1/2. Okay, so yan yung magiging common ratio natin. Okay, but i-check natin lahat. Okay, so what if we have 8 divided by 16? Again, we cannot divide 8 divided by 16 because mas mataas yung denominator kaysa sa numerator. So we have to simplify by dividing the greatest common factor, which is 8. Okay, 8 divided by 8 equals 1. 16 divided by 8 equals 2. Okay, we have another 1/2. Okay, so how about 16 divided by 32. Greatest common factor is 16. Then 16 divided by 16 is 1. 32 divided by 16 is 2. Okay, next, how about 32 divided by 64? Again, we cannot divide. And then, lowest term lang natin or simplify. The greatest common factor is 32, so we divide it by 32, both numerator and denominator. So, 32 divided by 32 is 1. 64 divided by 32 is 2. Okay, therefore, yung 1/2 na yan, yun yung imumultiply natin doon sa term or bawat term ng sequence natin mula doon sa may left side papuntang right. So, yan yung tinatawag nating common ratio. Okay? So, let's try this one. 64 times 1/2. Okay, and this is the solution. 64 times 1/2. Okay, so pag nagmumultiply tayo ng fraction, imumultiply natin yung numerator sa numerator, denominator sa denominator. Ang denominator ng 64 ay 1. Okay? So, 64 times 1 is 64 and 1 times 2 equals 2. Therefore, 64 divided by 2 equals 32. Okay, next, 32 times 1/2. 32 times 1 is 32, divided by 2 equals 16. Next, 16 times 1/2. We have 16 times 1 is 16, divided by 2 equals 8. The next, we have 8 times 1/2. 8 times 1 is 8, divided by 2 equals 4. Okay, therefore, yung minultiply natin na 1/2, which is pare-pareho every term, okay, is what we call the common ratio. Again, the common ratio of the sequence is 1/2. Okay, so that is how to find the common ratio of the geometric sequence. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, so let us proceed to the sum of geometric sequence. How do we find the sum of geometric sequence? Okay, so meron tayong tatlo. If R is not equal to 1. Okay, we have S sub n equals A sub 1 minus A sub n times R all over 1 minus R. Okay, gagamitin natin ito kapag given ang first term, given ang last term, given ang ratio. Okay, and then meron ding isang formula which is S sub n equals A sub 1 times the quantity of 1 minus R raised to n all over 1 minus R. Okay, gagamitin natin tong formula kapag given yung first term, given yung ratio, at saka number of terms. Okay, kahit hindi given ang last term, pwede natin siyang gamitin. Okay, so next is if R equals 1. Kung yung ratio natin ay equal sa 1. Okay, we have S sub n equals n times A sub 1. So, yun yung formula na gagamitin natin na kapag yung ratio natin ay equal sa 1. And then, if R equals negative 1. So, kapag ang ratio natin ay negative 1. Okay, meron tayong dalawang condition. If n is even. When we say n, yun yung number of terms na isasum natin. Okay, if it's even, then we have S sub n equals 0. Okay, kapag even yung number of terms na isasum, 0 ang sagot. If n is odd, kapag ang n natin is odd numbers, or number of terms is odd, it becomes S sub n equals A sub 1. Okay? Kung ano yung first term, yun yung answer natin. Okay, next, let's have the sum to infinity. Okay, if we have negative 1 less than R less than 1, or our ratio is fraction, then we have S equals A sub 1 over 1 minus R. So that is how to find the sum to infinity. Okay. So, where S sub n is what we call the sum of the first n terms, A sub 1 is what we call the first term, n is our number of terms, and R is common ratio. A sub n is the last term or the nth term. Okay, so let's have an example on how to find the sum of geometric sequence where R is not equal to 1. Okay, so gagamitin natin yung formula o yung dalawang formula in this example. Okay, consider the geometric sequence 2, 6, 18, 54, 162. What is the sum of the first 5 terms? Okay, so ang isasum lang natin, ang itototal lang natin is yung first 5 terms. Which is, dito sa given sequence natin, meron na tayong 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so meron tayong 5 terms. I-add natin siya ng mano-mano. Okay, so 2 plus 6 plus 18 plus 54 plus 162. The answer is 242. Okay, what if ang hinahanap nating sum is sum of the first 10 terms? Okay, or sum of the first 20 terms, or sum of the first 30 terms, sum of the first 50 terms. Okay, so marami ng numbers ang i-add natin. Okay, so mas maganda or mas madali na gamitan na natin ng formula. Okay, so gagamitan natin siya ng formula. We have the following. Okay, sequence 2, 6, 18, 54, 162. Okay, the first step is to find S sub n. A sub 1, n, or the number of terms, R, the ratio. Okay, S sub n is S sub 5. Why S sub 5? Because we're going to find the sum of the first 5 terms. Okay, and that is unknown. Okay, and A sub 1, or that is the first term. Our first term is 2. Next, we have n. N is the number of terms, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and R is ratio. To find the ratio, again, pipili lang tayo ng alinman dyan sa terms natin ng dalawa. I-divide natin yung pumapangalawa sa nauna. Okay? So, let's try 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So, ang ratio natin ay 3. Okay? And A sub n or A sub 5, kasi yun yung last term na hanapin natin. Okay, hanggang A sub 5 lang yung isasum natin. So, that's why we have A sub 5. Okay, our A sub 5 is 162. Okay, so since alam na natin yung mga S sub n, A sub 1, and R, A sub n, then isasubstitute natin yung mga value na nakuha natin sa mga formulas natin. Okay, we have formula 1 and formula 2. Okay, papakita ko kung paano isolve yung sequence natin, yung sum ng first 5 terms ng sequence natin gamit ang dalawang formula. Okay, now we substitute S sub 5 equals A sub 1 is the first term. So we have 2 minus A sub n is the fifth term or the last term, which is 162, times R, which is the common ratio or R. All over 1 minus R, which is the common ratio. Therefore, we have 1 minus 3. Okay, then S of 5 equals 2. Negative 162 times 3 equals negative 486. All over 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Then S of 5 now equals 2 minus 486 is negative 484 divided by negative 2. Now, negative 484 divided by negative 2, it is equal to 242. Okay, so therefore, the sum of the first 5 terms is 242. So let's try the second formula. We have S of 5 equals A sub 1 is the first term times 1 minus R is the ratio and N is the number of terms which is 5 all over 1 minus 3 which is the common ratio. Okay, we have 3 raised to 5. 3 raised to 5 meaning that you multiply 3 5 times. Okay, we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 243. Okay, S of 5 equals 2 times 1 minus 243 all over 1 minus 3. Then S of 5 equals to 1 minus 243 is negative 242. All over 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, then it is equal to 2 times negative 242 is equal to negative 484 divided by negative 2. And then negative divided by negative is positive. Therefore, negative 484 divided by negative 2, the answer is 242. Okay, the sum of the first 5 terms is 242. Okay, which is same lang yung nakuha natin doon sa dalawang formula. So, ibig sabihin, ano ang pagkakaiba ng Formula 1 sa Formula 2? So, ang pagkakaiba ng Formula 1, sa Formula 1, dapat meron kang first term, dapat given ang first term, dapat given din ang last term, at given ang ratio. Okay? While dito sa pangalawang formula, dapat given ang first term, dapat given ang ratio at saka number of terms. Kahit walang last term. Okay? So, next. We have earned activity number 1. What is the sum of the first 8 terms of the geometric sequence 2, 4, 8, 16? And number 2, find the sum of the first 6 terms of the geometric sequence 4, 12, 36, 108. Okay, good luck. Next, find the sum of geometric sequence if R equals 1. Then we have the formula S of n equals n times A sub 1. Okay? Ita-times lang natin yung number of terms at saka yung first term kapag ang ratio natin is 1. Example, what is the sum of the first 6 terms of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3? Okay, ang ratio natin dito is 1. 3 divided by 3, 1. 3 divided by 3, 1. 3 divided by 3, 1. Or 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 1, 3. Okay, so ang ratio natin dito sa sequence na to is 1. Okay? So, i-try natin na i-add muna yung first 6 terms. Okay, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Answer is 18. Okay, kung gagamitan natin siya ng formula, which is S of n equals n times A sub 1, it becomes S sub 6 because of the sum of the 6 terms, okay, equals n, the number of terms, n is 6, and A sub 1 is 3. So therefore, S sub 6 equals 18. Okay, again, the sum of the first 6 terms of the sequence is 18. Okay, so next, let's proceed. We have the sum or sum of geometric sequence if R equals negative 1. Okay, so meron tayong dalawang condition. The first condition, if n is even, then we have S sub n equals 0. If n is odd numbers, or if the number of terms is odd, then we have S sub n equals A sub 1. Okay, which is yun yung first term. Okay, so recall lang natin, odd numbers. Ano ba yung mga odd numbers na yon? Okay, so we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and so on. So, yun yung mga odd numbers. Okay, well, even numbers, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and so on. So, yun yung mga even numbers. Okay, since alam mo na kung ano yung odd numbers at kung ano ang even numbers, okay, let's try this example. What is the sum of the first 7 terms of 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3? Okay, so ang r natin dito is negative 1 because negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Okay, in this example, again, what is the sum of the first 7 terms of 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3? Okay, first identify natin kung ano ang ratio. Which is ang ratio natin is negative 1 because negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. And then, number of terms. Okay, ang number of terms natin is 7, which is, ang hinahanap natin dito is sum of the first 7 terms. Okay, so 7 is odd numbers. So therefore, ang gagamitin natin is if n is odd, then we have s of n equals a sub 1. A sub 1 is the first term. Okay, kung ano yung first term, yun yung sagot. Okay, so we have s sub 7 equals, the first term is 3. Okay, check natin. I-add natin lahat, yung 6 terms, yung 7 terms na yon. We have 3 plus negative 3 is 0. 3 plus negative 3 is 0. Then 3 plus negative 3 is 0. Then we have 3. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 3 equals 3. Okay, next, number 2 example. What is the sum of the first 8 terms of 3, negative 3, okay, number 2 example. What is the sum of the first 8 terms of 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3, 3, negative 3? Okay, first, ang common ratio natin is negative 1. Because negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. So, ang r is negative 1. And n, or the number of terms, is 8. Okay, so 8 is even numbers. Then we have, if n is even, then s of n equals 0. Okay, magiging 0 ang sagot natin. Okay, or s of 8 equals 0. And then let's check, add natin. 3 plus negative 3 is 0. Then 3 plus negative 3 is 0. 3 plus negative 3 equals 0. Then 3 plus negative 3 is 0. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. Therefore, we have the sum of the first 8 terms of the sequence is 0. Okay, next, let's have an activity number 2. What is the sum of the first 15 terms of the geometric sequence negative 4, 4, negative 4, 4, negative 4? Next, number 2, find the sum of the first 24 terms of the geometric sequence 5, negative 5, 5, negative 5, 5. Okay. So, next, let's proceed to the sum to infinity. If we have negative 1 less than r less than 1, then we have the formula s equals a sub 1 over 1 minus r. Okay, so, ang r natin dito is fraction. Okay, example, consider the infinite geometric sequence 1/3, 1 over 9, 1 over 27, 1 over 81. Okay, first we're going to find the ratio. Okay, to find the ratio, sabi ko kanina, i-divide natin yung pumapangalawa sa naunang term. Okay, pipili lang tayo ng dalawa. Okay, so let's try. 1/9 divided by 1/3. Shortcut na yung gagawin ko. Multiply ko lang yung parehong extreme, which is 1 times 3, then it is equal to 3. And then, 9 times 1 equals 9. Okay, 3 divided by 9. Hindi siya pwedeng i-divide kasi mas mataas yung denominator kaysa sa numerator. So, ang gagawin lang natin, lowest term lang natin siya. So, the greatest common factor of 3 and 9 is 3. So, i-divide natin siya both numerator and denominator by 3. So, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. And 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So, therefore, ang ratio natin is 1/3. Okay, next. So, substitute na natin doon sa formula natin, which is, we have S equals, ang A sub 1 natin is 1/3. All over 1 minus, ang ratio natin is 1/3. Okay? Then, it is equal to, okay, so we have the equation now. We have S equals 1/3 all over 1 minus 1/3. Then, it is equal to 1/3. Re-rewrite lang natin yung numerator. And then, isi-simplify natin yung nasa denominator. Okay, to simplify, get the LCD. The LCD is 3. Okay? So, ang denominator ng 1 is 1. So, 3 divided by 1 is 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay, then 3 divided by 3 is 1 times negative 1 equals negative 1. Okay, then next, we have 1/3 all over 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2/3. Therefore, we have 1/3 all over 2/3. Okay, next, simplify. Multiply 1 times 3 equals 3. And then 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, shortcut na itong ginagawa ko. Okay, then simplify natin yung 3/6. So, 3/6, di-divide natin siya both numerator and denominator ng 3 because 3 is the greatest common factor of 3 and 6. So, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Okay, therefore, the sum to infinity of the given sequence is 1/2. Okay, next, it's time for your activity number 3. Find the sum to infinity of the sequence 4, 1, 1/4, 1/16. Okay, good luck. And please don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and the bell button and share. Thank you. Next.